Following shortly after the amazing state of play showing off Phantom Blade Zero, Game Science decided to double back and show off 15 minutes of gameplay of their upcoming game, Black Myth: Zhong. Let's get into it. The first thing that really caught my eye about this showcase were the graphics. Wow, this gameplay looks absolutely amazing. Now, I should make it known this is most likely a PC gameplay slice that we're seeing here. I'm sure if we got graphics looking like this on PS5 or PS5 Pro, this would have been exclaimed front and center. But it still looks amazing. It still looks stunning nonetheless. This really looks like and gives me the vibe of one of those games that feel truly next generation just off graphical fidelity alone. Games like Death Stranding, Death Stranding 2, The Last of Us 2, games that really define the PS5 and PS4 generations just because they look that great. Now, we haven't been told too much about the story, but some of the background about this story in this game is following the mythological figure Zhong, a brilliant Tang Dynasty scholar who passed top imperial exams with the highest honors. The emperor, however, denied him his rightful title due to his fierce, ugly physical appearance. In deep rage and despair, Zhong killed himself on the palace steps. Because of this fate, he was appointed Supreme King of the Ghosts and Demon Queller. So, as far as we know, this game is expanding on his role as a strict judge and walking between hell and earth, fighting through a fractured underworld, trying to restore cosmic balance. We're not too sure if the main character that we're seeing in gameplay footage is Zhong in his human form, and if we'll be playing as him mostly in his human form, or later on in the game, he will be transformed into a demon form, or that's some kind of ultimate move, ultimate ability. We're not sure yet. We haven't been given a whole lot of details on the story. That is yet to come. Combat in this game looked really fluid. The teaser did a great job of showcasing combat and gameplay. Unlike Wukong, you aren't wielding a staff, you are equipped with a sword that is pretty good at taking out enemies. Particle effects in combat look really good, but they aren't too much to be distracting like in some other games. Enemy motion also looks very fluid, very realistic. Big enemies are moving slower. They're also swinging their weapons with great effort. You can see some of these huge weapons breaking loose debris in the ground on impact. Super cool detail. And then smaller enemies, they're kind of trying to sneak quick jabs in from behind. It also looks like enemies can friendly fire. Pretty neat. Dodging looks impressive and fluid in the trailer, but I'd definitely like to see more gameplay footage of that. The graphics and animations combined with the seemingly solid parry system makes combat seem enticing. There's also an elemental aspect to combat, as we can see a fire ability thrown into a group of enemies, and that fire being absorbed into the blade later on. The whole process of throwing out that flame and watching little fire sprites float back into your blade just looks super cool. And you can also release that fire back out towards your opponents in future encounters. The game also looks like it has a decent amount of goofs and gaffs as well, which is interesting to see. You can kind of see you're seasoning a guy in boiling water, pretty funny. I think that games that are able to toe the line between serious tones and themes and funny, lighthearted tropes can be one of a kind. Games that come to mind for me that really do this well are Final Fantasy, the Yakuza series, the original Saints Row games, although the Saints Row games lean more on the comedy side, but they do their serious moments relatively well. Overall, this trailer looks pretty good, but this game is far, far from release. I mean, we still don't even have a release date yet. Some are predicting holiday 27 release, maybe early 28, depending on development hitches. We really don't know right now. It was also stated in the description and at the start of this video that the game is still in early development. All footage was captured in-game from a work-in-progress build and is running at 21:9 aspect ratio. It's very important to note that the final release may differ. Listen, I'll be blown away if the final release build of Zhong looks close to this good on base PS5. I do think it's possible on PS5 Pro, maybe, but even then I still think it's a bit of a stretch for a game to look this good and run at 60 frames. We might get graphics like this running at 30, but this kind of graphical fidelity I don't see being achievable and hitting 60 FPS on this generation. I have a lot of reservations when it comes to previews of super early builds of games that are slated to come to consoles. 9 times out of 10 these previews are being played on PC, and there's absolutely no distinction of this whatsoever. This is my main problem with these things because it's extremely misleading to the consumer, and it ends up being a disappointing experience for those that buy the game expecting what they saw from a preview early on and load up the finished build that ends up looking half as good. I mean, we saw this with quite a few games during the PS4 era. Watch Dogs, The Division, Rainbow Six Siege, Anthem, No Man's Sky. Need I go on? Now, obviously, this isn't as large of an issue with this generation because of the technical leap the PS5 took. It's much easier for developers to make games look good with better tech in these consoles. With the exception of the Xbox Series S, that console seems to somehow put developers in a bit of a bind, unfortunately. But that's all I've got for you guys. If you liked the video, drop a like. If you didn't, dislike. Let me know in the comments what you think of Black Myth, Zhong. Anyways, I'll see ya.